Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Oh my god. God damn it, Vice. Gonna be a VOD watcher this time. Have a good read tonight. Stay hydrated with the 10,000 bits. Thanks, brother. Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll get a good, nice glug here just for you. Given that I rolled out of bed not too long ago, it's probably a good idea to stay hydrated. Yeah, I'm fully on like a nocturnal schedule right now. It's not great. Like like the regular person will have like a sleep schedule that they adhere to, and they'll start getting tired at about the same time usually. Yeah, that's kind of happened to me now. Where as soon as it's like about 10 a.m. noon rolls around, I'm like, okay, body is saying it's sleepy time. Time to go lay down and fucking pass out for like 8 hours. Which isn't very conducive to working a job at regular times. So, I the thing is I don't even get to do like a full like during the week at least. I don't get to do like a full 8 hour sleep cuz I have to like wake up periodically and be like, "Did anybody message me?" No, okay. Go back to sleep then. It do be a little rough out there. It do be a little rough. But that is not your guys' problem. That is my problem. Oh, hey, Maury's playing 40k. Space Marine, nice. Where is Snoot Game OST? Get something playing in the background here. And as always, turn it down enough that I don't feel like it's overpowering my ears. We're good. Okay. Read the chat here. Saying hello for now because I still haven't watched the other 2-3 VODs before this, and I get hell coming my way in a few hours. Have a good time, fellers. Hope all goes good with you, V8. I'm assuming when you mean you get hell coming your way, it's the, that fucking Cat 4-5. Hopefully that doesn't do too much damage. Hello, hello, hello. You know, it's one thing after another, but it's over now. Vamp Humo confirmed. Guys, I'd be doing vampire shit if I could. Though I'd be like one of those fucking lame ass vampires that gets like Kool-Aid packets of like cow blood or something to like sate my hunger instead of having to go and like, I don't know, kill homeless people. Sleep overrated? If I could eliminate the need to sleep, you bet your sweet bippy I would. But unfortunately, I'm not that guy. I'm the kind of guy who needs his EB. Otherwise, he gets cranky. I'm kind of tracking something that's being talked about in the staff lounge, so if I go quiet for a couple minutes, that's why. Okay. Yeah, so plan for today is we're probably only gonna do one chapter. I know some people are gonna be like, Mr. Dreamer, but what about the 2 chapter? I'm gonna be real, guys. I've got like a lot of streams I'm gonna do this week. Like, I think tomorrow I'm gonna be doing the Silent Hill remake. And then Wednesday, I'm either gonna continue that for another stream or I'm gonna start Black Souls. And then depending on how long that runs, either Thursday might be finishing Black Souls, because I don't know how long Black Souls will run. Thursday will be either finishing that up or we'll go back and touch base on Silent Hill again, because I know I'm not beating that in one stream. And then Friday, I don't even know what Friday is gonna be yet. But this week's gonna be like we're gonna be having like back-to-back streams, I'm thinking, because tomorrow I don't have my watch night because my friend's gonna be playing Sparking Zero, so they're not gonna be available. So I'd rather just leave it as a easy stream tonight with just one chapter, and then we fucking kick it off later. Should play some random playlists sometimes if you want something different. The only thing with playing random playlists and everything is just like YouTube's gonna be really fucking PO'd that I did that and is going to try and chop my nuts off. Though I guess it really doesn't matter that much if I think about it. As long as I don't get like copyright striked, it ought to be fine. But I'd have to look at that. The reason I've been sticking to Wani and Snoot's OSTs is because I know that those aren't going to get me fucking smacked on the wee-wee. You're a humanitarian vampire from Vampire the Masquerade. You know, I've never played that. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks neat. Didn't they come out like with a newer one too? I'm sure there are quote-unquote medicines that'll help you stay awake. Give the man the methamphetamine chocolate now. New one is in development hell. Rough. Cause like, how long ago did Vampire Masquerade come out? It was a while, wasn't it? Vampire the Masquerade. Game. Well, this is the TTRPG it's talking about. Okay, what about video game? Is it Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? That's 2004. Okay, yeah. So 2 decades. Got a new Optimus Prime figure, and it's super fun to mess with. Nice. Good to see our fucking resident Transformer posters having a good time. Wonder how long till Humo realizes he's in a simulated universe inside of VM, and everything he has done was choices made by the player controlling him. And the reason why he does 1 chapter of None in the Chamber per stream is because the player does not have the energy capacity to do more than one. Hey player! Up my stamina capacity already! That would explain his Mia posting tendencies. Is Mia posting like a really high stamina usage? That's why I don't Mia post. I don't got it in me. Old writer got sacked and new writer quit. Bloodline story is great, but the game itself is shit. I don't think anyone actually likes the raw gameplay of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Fair enough. Sometimes you gotta wade through the shit to get to the good shit. If that makes sense. That's a weird sentence, isn't it? That's one of those things, you know, like when you hear or say something in English and you're like, huh? That just works? You wade through the shit to get to the good shit. As if, like, good shit is still warranting you wading through shit. That shit's always... And there I go again. Shit. I really need to expand my vernacular, don't I? Currently, I'm a little Doki Doki Lit Club right now. So that's where that came from, since I played through the whole game and 100% it. How much stuff did, like, the updated version add to it? Because I remember playing that when it initially came out and was like free and everything. And I never took a look and saw what else was happening there. Been watching your VODs, just started them in the chamber one, so can't watch this one, but still wanted to pop in and say have a good stream. Well, I hope you enjoy the VODs as you get through them, David. It should be a good time. I think the court case one is the one where a lot of people are like, yo, this is badass! But you know, everything up to that is also good. The Plus added a whole lot more secrets than lore. Interesting stuff. Okay. Okay. Ugh. See, like, I'm awake, but, like, my eyes are still, like, I don't know, they feel like they need to hydrate or something. Maybe if I pour, like, some boiling water on them, that'll help, you know? A little bit of spicy hydration. Ouchers. Playing the Metaphor demo before it comes out this Friday. Love listening to this in the background. I do be kind of background music pilled, don't I? Everyone just spent the day going for a walk, bathing, playing Forever Skies, and joining on the current art trend of drawing sexy scarecrows. Wait, is there an art trend of drawing sexy scarecrows? I was not privy to this information. I'm blacking out for my own good. Well, alright then. Hey, Victor. Yep. Well, shit. I guess I gotta go poke around in art circles a bit more. I want to see the sexy scarecrows. Ooh. Nor was I. Time for sexy straw ladies. They're coming to the Discord. Everybody get ready. The straw is going to be all over the place. It's going to be terrible. Contemplating between getting a few hours of sleep for the day or continuing the unfunny Andrew JPEG I'm working on listening to the stream. Puts my hand on your shoulder, big dog. I'd say if you're thinking about getting a few hours of sleep, you should probably get a few hours of sleep. But if you don't have the self-control to make it a few hours of sleep, maybe it's best not to try for a few hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? You get me? Sorry, werewolf dog. So, Huma, what's the Halloween costume this year? I don't know, dog. Here's the thing. I haven't, like, really put together a Halloween costume in a while because fuck am I gonna do with it? I mean, now I would have something to do with it, right? Where I would just get on stream with it on, but prior, I didn't go to, like, Halloween parties, and, like, my ass is not going trick-or-treating. I ain't got kids to go trick-or-treating with, you know what I mean? So, like, the only reason I would dress up is so that I could sit in my chair on Halloween as, like, I don't know, fucking Rick Grimes or something and be like, yep, this is the life here. Wonder if the cherry chuckle nuts will be mentioned in this story. The cherry chuckle who? $10 that Fang has some sort of complication with the child. I think I already, like, threw that evil aura into the air on one of the previous readings, and everybody was like, shut up, streamer. Don't bring that energy here, streamer. I was like, okay. Oh boy, can't wait for my weekly dose of depression. Ain't got no depression in it. Ain't got nothing in the chamber. Oh, for those of you who weren't there last night, I played fucking In Heat Lustful Nights and like 100% it in the Discord. Well, not quite 100% it. I didn't get SS on everything, but that game is neat. It's I didn't even care much about the sex scenes. I was just sitting there tweaking out on the game, like the gameplay, and trying to like rock that shit. I don't know, games like that where you like have to micromanage kind of scratch a little bit of an itch for me, and it's very fun. The game isn't even finished either. And not to mention, here's one thing, right? Well, that's what I was about to say, Kev. They brought up that there's an In Heat VN, and you guys know me. I play some VNs. I need to play more. But hey, maybe there'll be a precursor stream at some point playing In Heat Lustful Nights with the adult content off, obviously, or else I get fucking nuked from orbit. So that way you got some context as we go into the VN. Or maybe it'll be the other way around. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting energy out in the world and seeing what happens. You will feel bad for Anon and you will be happy. Simple for Halloween, just do the Mortisy. What? Do what Mortisy did for one Halloween episode where he got some fake kids and get a bunch of candy. Here's the thing, I don't... Oh, is that supposed to be Mordecai? I think I remember it. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about now. No, here's the thing. I don't even really like candy that much. like a little bit, maybe every now and again, but like I was never one to on Halloween start digging into all the candy that I got. I might open like a Dots or two, but like that was about it. I'll probably finish Signalis or all the Monster Prom routes, or even play the new Gloomwood updates. I do need to, oh man, I need to play Monster Prom 2 and 3. I did 1, but I have yet to do the other 2, and I think that would be a fun time. Gloomwood I have not touched, and Signalis I have, and I'm planning on streaming that at some point. In Heat is FNAF, but porn. Yeah, basically. Who's the pink fella at the bottom? That would be, fuck, I forget what we call him all the time. Chiz? No, that's not Chiz. It's Sack. There we go. It's Nick and Sage combined. And by Nick and Sage combined, I mean I palette swapped Nick into Sage colors. And that's what happened. Cherry Chocolate Nuts is another insult from Mia. Ah. Think fast, Chocolate Nuts. What is your guilty pleasure? My guilty pleasure. Sure I have one, but I just gotta think what it is. Does soda count? Cause like I usually pop like a Coke each day. If not each day, at least every other day. And like I've taken to like getting like bottled Coke because I like that a bit better than just canned Coke. On the list of things to be like my guilty pleasure, I feel like a soda isn't too bad, especially since I do hydrate. I hydrate very much. Pepsi. Whatever candy you get, give it to charity and post a video of you doing, get a fuck ton of views, but you can call it the Mr. Beast special. I just donated my bag of candy to the local homeless shelter. I could do like the Mr. Beast pose for the thumbnail. It would be epic. I also came up with the name Rancid Rose today as well. For Mia's. Yeah, I guess that works. I mean, you know, you have a rose which is prickly but beautiful, right? But then rancid makes it even ickier. Icky yucky rose. Stinky stinky. Not likey. No, no, no. I need water! What do you think the Snoot Crew dress up as for Halloween? Okay. I think Anon would dress up as like Grug the Barbarian or something. Fang would dress up as... who the fuck would Fang... what would Fang dress up as? I don't know, my mind's going to like a vampire for some reason. I'm not good at this. Olivia dresses up as a Gundam, maybe. Inko. Frank West. He dressed up as Frank West. I open it up to everybody else to throw your shit in. I don't know. Damn, Mr. Saint having soda is a guilty thing. I immediately thought of my hallucinogenics. Yeah, no, like, I don't have, like, many, like, vices that other people have, you know? Like, I'm not sitting here drinking, I'm not sitting here, well, I'm drinking soda. I'm not doing, like, any kind of tobacco or any other drugs. Not that, like, I shame anybody if they do, you know, everybody's got their thing. I would try hallucinogenics though. I think that could be fun. What did you say about Roja? I didn't say anything. Leave me alone. How much money do I have to pay you to read the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx in the Fang voice? It would take a little bit. It would take a little bit because, you know, that's a special order. Wouldn't mind her thorns ripping the skin off me. Same. Oh, there you go. The Crow. I feel Olivia would dress up as Zero from Katana Zero solely due to her A3 kimono. It could work. It could work. You should take 4 scoops of gamer subs. Now! I probably could go do a little bit of gamer subs to help perk myself up just a teensy bit. Smoke is icky and I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of smoke. I tried smoking weed once and I was like, this fucking blows. And like, it wasn't even like, I don't know. I didn't really get much out of it from the weed. But after I smoked too, I was like, man, having smoke in my lungs fucking sucks. I don't think I'm ever doing this again. Nah, an edible maybe, but nah, I don't think I'm gonna puff pass, you know? How much exactly? How long is the Communist Manifesto? Written in German, 23-page pamphlet was titled Manifest der Kommunistischen Partei. Okay. You know what? Funny. I'm gonna put a funny number on it. $1,000. $1,000, and I'll read the Communist Manifesto in the Fang voice. When did you realize the Snootverse was your life now? Probably about the time that a lot of my viewers came from Snootverse, and I was like, all right, I'm leaning into it. Here we go. Dry scoop the gamer subs. It may hurt at first, but you will ascend. Hi, Mr. Cracker. Hi, Bites. Hi, Bites. Best I can do is 2 pesos. See, that's a little less than what I asked, so I don't know. You gotta have a really good bargain skill for that shit. If you want a really long, probably lifelong reading, read Higurashi When They Cry. How long is that one? How many Orpal JPEGs to read Ignition by John Drury Clark? What is Ignition? An informal history of liquid rocket propellants. How long is this? $216 pages! Oh, fuck! That was a lot of pages. The irony of that is so thick, I'm drowning. Pay for communism. Look. I ain't your comrade. I ain't your buddy. You pay me now, maybe I'll read it. I revisited the Fang birthday mod and Fang almost rocked the Daphne look. She just needed the red hair from the GVH flashbacks to fully pull it off. Huh. Yeah, I could see that. Oh. And when was that? What, when I realized the Snoot thing? Oh yeah, that'd have been back fucking March. $1,000 at once? Yeah, all in one. You can't spread it out over lifetime and then say, I now redeem the Communist Manifesto. No, 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 it's gotta be, you gotta hand that over in one fell swoop. In the wise, sorry, I don't know why I said wise words. In the words of Alex Yick, What the hell is going on? Nothing, Iggy. Pats you on the head. If I remember right, Higurashi is about 1,111,000 words. Well, time to hit the old dusty trail. It's like what? Three times how long things are in the Chamber, I think. Which, by the way, I should probably pull that up. None in the Chamber. None in the Chamber. Chapter 27. Yeah, so None in the Chamber is almost 400,000 words right now, meaning that, yeah, it would be... it would be just about 3 times the length. Democracy is non-negotiable until we start throwing in cash money, in which case maybe it's negotiable. Uh-oh, Amberlight Brilliance is playing Time to Cry. Get a hold of yourself. Just watched the first ep of Dan Shit Was Peak. I saw something about that. What is that? Explain it to me like I'm a fucking idiot. Best I can do is $400 in a month. Tell you what. If you can coordinate multiple people to reach that 1K and you all hand it in at the same time, I'll accept that. I'll accept that as one fell swoop. I can give you the money, but all in quarters at coordinates 185074122 of October 19. Well, it's gonna cost you more if I have to go pick it up. All right, like that's like a fucking delivery charge, so that's another $100 on top of it. So if you got $1,000 of quarters, I assume you got $1,100 of quarters, you know. Can I take your penis? Aliens and ghosts are real. High schoolers fight them. I see. Maybe I'll have to take a look at it then. How's the start of the week for you, Humo? Well, other than poor sleep schedule, pretty good, I would say. Beck. The week's looking like it's gonna be pretty packed in terms of like working on stuff, or not working, fucking won't work, but streams, so that'll be interesting. Depending on who's around tonight, we may on the community server for Twewia, we might fight Wall of Flesh, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. We're at the point now where we can fight him. It's just a matter of getting a couple people together for it. I think Lanny would be on and able to do it. I can't remember specifically. He said he needed to be up tomorrow, I think. It's either he needed to be up tomorrow or the day after. But, I mean, I know I would be around. He would likely be around. Kev would more than likely be around. Is Morwin on? I didn't know. Morwin might be on. And then we might be able to poach like 1 or 2 other people, but I don't know if they are quite to the point where they'd be ready to do Wall of Flesh. It's one of those things that you kind of like shrugging like,
Happy spooky month.
Thank you, Clown Nerd. Or Clown Nerd. Clown Nerd. It is the spooky month. And despite it being the spooky month, I don't think we've really done the spooky yet. I think what have we streamed recently? Hold up, let me waddle over to the fucking studio and take a look at all the streams. I know we did like 2 streams in a row of fucking Undertale 2, which by the way, I will be going back to at some point to fucking wrap that shit up. If not wrap that shit up, at least continue it. Let's see. Okay, the only horror... Well, I guess you could consider that part 2 of the Dude Spotlight a bit of a horror stream. In that you had to watch on in horror. There is... We did do the Flash games. the Ex Mortis Flash games. Which, I mean, you know... they're gonna set the pace for the fucking month, isn't it? But... I mean, we've got some stuff this week. I mean, if nothing else, Silent Hill is a horror game. I think Black Souls. I don't know what Black Souls like classification is, but people will probably be like, "Oh no!" Verse of the day: Judges 10:16. I keep messing it up. Would you rather fight 500 principal spears-sized Trishas or 250 Trish-sized principal spears? I'm gonna go with the latter. 1, because it's a lower number, and 2, because I'm pretty sure he loses some of his muscle mass and isn't as strong. I mean, he could still body me, but like the thing is, with 500 Trish-sized principal-sized Trishas, they could just run me over. I'd be dead, trampled, gone in a flash. $1,000 in quarters is 12.5 pounds. And that's something I could swing at somebody to do some real damage. If I have to suffer, so does everyone else. I found a fic of Olivia X Yadikin on Reddit. They say ignorance is bliss, and I just took that from you. Yuckers. Ewy. I have Terraria also, I can be up for it, but I won't have stuff. Well, the community server's been going up pretty regularly. I know over the weekend Kev had it up like almost 24/7. I don't think it's up right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's up right now. I mean, we've got like some leftover gear if you wanted to like hop on and try and cobble something together. Warning, if you do watch Dan, in episode 1 there's an SA scene, but nothing actually happens. It's only seen in the entire series. After that, it never happens again. Oh, my favorite. Oh, beautiful. That should be fine for me. I usually, when it comes to like stuff like that, I can kind of like stomach it if as long as it isn't like in absolutely poor taste. I know some people that's like a kind of a deal breaker for them though. So I appreciate the warning though. What did I join to? Just yapping. Just yapping before we read. Everyone just pictures them going at it. Wow. At the end, Olivia gets depressed and kills herself after Yadikin goes to jail. Surprise, surprise! Who would have thought that something like that would have happened? Judges 10:16, verse 14. Go cry to your gods you have chosen. Let them save you when you're in trouble. Load shotgun. Better pray to your god now, fuck nuts. Triceratops are pretty much rhinos with a 3 times all stats multiplier. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't really want to fuck with that. Down at the moment because update, and I'm at work for 2 more hours. Fair enough, fair enough. Didn't even know there was a public Terraria server. I thought it was a work in progress. No. I mean, here's the thing, right? We're going to end up going into hard mode. That much is clear. If people want to join, you can join still. You'll have a little bit of a rougher start. The thing is, I can probably... Because I sort of fly by all of the not fly by. I go through the content pretty quickly. Like, I was ready to do Wall of Flesh, like, day 2 of the server. I had already cleared off everything else on my boss checklist, but I kind of kicked back and started doing, like, some just maintenance stuff. Like, building a house, setting up a couple places for farms, and whatnot. So, if other people want to join the server, 1, you super can. 2, I can try and get, like, the necessary materials for people to be able to at least have like a starting point come hard mode. You know, like a few, like some armor, some weapons, and like farm up some heart crystals, because you can make heart crystals in Calamity via, what is it, rubies, a healing potion, and like one other thing? I can't remember what the other thing off the top of my head is though. So I could just fill a chest with that. Sorry about that. Brother poked his head in. He was supposed to be on the dinner tonight. And he's getting around to it now. So I'll probably have a little bit of dinner midstream. Which kind of sucks because I'll be reading. But it is what it is. But yeah, I don't even know what like the full player count on the server is right now. I know... Let me try and rattle off everybody that I've seen on the server. There's... myself, Kev, Morwin, Lanny, Face, Cocainer, Iron, Jam. Is there anybody else? Ace was on for one part, like right at the beginning. And I think that's it. I think a total of 9 people have played. Would you say that None in the Chamber is the best fic in your opinion? I don't feel like I should be the one to say that. Simply because I haven't read a ton of fics. Out of the fics I've read, I don't know. I really like Inko Noted. Like, this is a very expansive fic. Is one of the things too you have to keep in mind. So it's got a lot going on. Personally, I kind of like it better when you kind of have it like wrapped up in nice packages where there's a part 1, maybe a part 2, and then a part 3. Like, I feel like with None in the Chamber, there's a certain point where you could have split it, you know, and then like this was the first fic, this is the follow-up fic, you know, but that's just personal taste. Other people would definitely be able to weigh in more. Like, I know Schmoopy reads a fuck ton of the fics. What were you thinking about? Just crap my pants because of Dead Space. I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here vibing. Are you playing the remake? Remake's pretty good. Go read Ezekiel 23:20 for us, Sumo. Is that the one with the bears? Ezekiel 23:20. Oh yeah, this one. She lusted for the lechers of Egypt, whose members are like those of donkeys, whose thrusts are like those of stallions. truly living the life of no cock like horse cock. Only read like 3 fics so far, 2 which we haven't finished. Exactly. Well, we've read 4. There's Broken Wings and Inko Noted. We finished those. Then there's None in the Chamber and Punch Drunk, which are still going. Also want to play some more Phasmo as well. Really want to re-upgrade my gear. Is the level 1 gear sucks all the balls. Yeah, level 1 gear sucks really bad. The thing with Phasmo is I just can't bring myself to like really get back into it. There might be like a Phasmo stream during Spooky Month, but it would be like a one-off, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't it say that it's okay to own slaves in the Bible as long as they aren't of your own people? The Bible says a lot of things. I feel like we shouldn't go point for point in what the Bible says is okay, because people might start being like, what? What? Rosa mod, where she reads the entire Bible in English/Spanish and just like starts style swapping in the middle of it, and it's just like, wow. I can't read this. I'm not a Spanish speaker. There's 316 members in the Discord. Unless we're talking Terraria, then I don't know. Yeah, and I was talking Terraria. I can easily check the Discord members because all I have to do is go right click on the Discord, server settings, and then members. And it tells me. For example, the most recent member is Chudmaxing. Hey Huma, have you seen the new mod for all the Stella stands called Trust Your Colors? I am familiar with that having released. I'm not a Stella stan, but I would be willing to take a look at it. I think the Stego is neat. Found out a lie about my school. They said they had a pool. They never fill it with water. Also, apparently they had a bowling alley a while back. Only thing that's true is the movie theater. You had a fucking movie theater at your school? Are we talking like a uni or like a fucking high school or something? None of the chambers is long. Yeah. Not long enough? Shut your mouth. It's almost 400,000 words, dog. I'm back. Goodbye the Christian Knight. Hello the Shattered Knight. Ah, character development, I see.
I love a spooky month.
I love Spooky Month as well. Spooky Month is really cool. I don't know if I said it before, but I think my favorite holiday is Halloween. I just like people getting dressed up and shit and the aesthetics. It's very fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Christmas is pretty nice. I like getting gifts, but I don't know. I fuck with the vibe of Halloween more. You know what I mean? If the Bible tells you to eat your firstborn, would you? See, here's the issue. I'm not a practitioner of the faith, so probably not. Probably. Now, if God came down, like a little, biblically accurate God, just like poked through the clouds, looked at me and said, hey, eat your child's shit lips or you're going to hell. I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I gotta eat my child. Which, isn't that kind of like an Abraham situation or whatever, where like God's like, hey, kill your kid. And he's like, I can't kill my kid. That would be evil. And God's like, haha, you passed my test. Roommate's screaming over the last microwave bacon, drinking Pepsi at my standing desk while I played TF2 MVM and having to decide whether me and my mates get to eat or have heating. This is the life. How is a standing desk? I never had one. I heard some people like them. I like sitting my ass in a chair, but maybe it'd be better if I was standing up. My point of view on slavery in the Bible: slavery was a much more common thing in ancient time. It really isn't appreciated today. Plus, it said, I know it isn't good, to let them go after 7 years. So you can only have slaves for 7 years. Why 7 years? What about that is... like, what made them land on that number is like the good number, you know what I mean? You can always break open one of those fire hose cabinets and fill them yourself. The pool shall flow.
I want to see Amber, dang it. I want to cherish the taro bean.
Well, just hopefully the taro bean doesn't have complications when the birthing is going to happen. Through work, I'm slowly learning Spanish. Yes, exposure therapy to Spanish. I understand. I don't know, but in my country, we don't really celebrate it that much. I mean, that's fair. I don't expect everywhere to celebrate every holiday. I just know that I like Halloween. It makes me happy. Man, biblically accurate angel dating sim when? Yeah, the game boots up, and as soon as the biblically accurate angel comes on screen, it starts like fucking pixelating and corrupting your game, and then you like crash out. All while you hear like a distorted "Be Not Afraid." If biblically accurate God shows up, I'd probably throw a rock at him for fucking with me my entire life. You think he would immediately smite you, or just like in his like godlike voice say, "You know what? Fair." Binding of Isaac moment.
Yes, my lord. I will kill Isaac. Isaac, why are you crying on me? It's killing Mama.
Would you buy a custom action figure from Snoot Game? I guess it depends on how much it would cost and how good it is. Because there's certainly breakpoints on that. I haven't finished the Bible yet, so I can't say, but I'm not Cliff levels of intelligence, so yeah. I haven't went through the Bible once myself, so you know what? I'm not a learned man. Trade school, but it's government funded. Nice, but same time not great. I see. Halloween fun as fuck. Christmas, meh. It's a warm spiced wine good. Birthday, fuck it. Lucky number. 7 is the lucky number. God made the world in 7 days. So because God made the world in 7 days, the slaves got to be owned for 7 years. That feels like kind of a raw deal. Why couldn't they be owned for 7 days, huh? 1 week workers. Come on, that's good. That's a good slogan. Imagine a traveling band of slaves that offer this. You know, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna just let that one ride by. I realized that was burning my hands as I tried to hold on to it as it was rushing by, so it's time to let go. Just started a war about Christianity in the chat. Let's finish. This abortion is not murder. Man. I wouldn't even say there was really a war going on. I would just say there was discussion. With the exception of this story, I'm jealous of Milhouse for scoring a babe like Stacy. Well, I mean, he's got a loving babe who's gonna take care of him even though he got shot in the fucking head. I'd say he's still winning. Kind of. Maybe it's related to some cursed VHS from Japan. Could be. Buh. It's been years since I've played Binding of Isaac. It's been a hot minute since I played it as well. I know that I ended up buying the DLC for it though. Like relatively recently. I had one of the DLCs. I can't even remember which. I'd have to look at like the fucking... Okay, so I had... I think I had Repentance. No, I had... I think I had Afterbirth and I didn't have Repentance or Afterbirth Plus. I think is where it was at. But now I do. Chase dig skies. Looks at Dorian. You might be onto something. Too bad Milhouse got shot in the head. Didn't know The Simpsons got darker as the seasons went on. I saw like a clip of The Simpsons where like somebody got their fucking entire skeleton ripped out of them by an evil alien jelly. So like I don't know what The Simpsons is on. Forgive me for starting it myself. I just wanted to share a cool little verse from one of my favorite streamers. You're all good. Hi everyone. Hey Ken. Came here to anon trauma, but I'm okay with biblically and slavery discussions too. Look, man. At the end of the day, the Bible is scripture and a book. You can read it, you can believe it, and you can critique it. That's what I will say on it. I have too much time in Isaac. Yeah, didn't you? Yeah, you've got like fucking... The type of like time played that someone like fucking pops a like an exclamation and a question mark over their head. Hey guys. Hey DM. DM of the dark. Just saying, on the Bible, my family is Irish Catholic and baptized Christian. That's how you spell that. So I'm good, dog. So it wasn't the first mention in the streams. Yo, I just got the golden frying pan from an MVM crate. Let's fucking go. That's rare, isn't it? I think. I'm not TF2 pilled. How's everyone doing? I'm doing alright. I think everybody else is doing pretty good. Probably gonna have to take my little bro trick-or-treating. Could say I'm just a tall 12-year-old for the 3rd time. See, I had my brother was like 3.5 years younger than me, so I had a little bit more grace time on that. I'm sorry, someone in chat got a golden frying pan? Yeah, apparently. Unless they're lying. You mean the one worth around $5,000? Maybe? I don't know. Beastia best Isaac mod next to the funny damage noises. What's Beastia? I can afford college loans now, or let's go gambling. I used to be decent in Binding of Isaac, but at the same time I got bad RNG in that game. I'm forgiving much more. 50k hours. Yep, that's about right. Mr. Streamer almost got canceled for speaking on the Bible. Look, dog. If the Bible gets me canceled, so fucking be it, man. I know people have their faith, and I am not here to try and dissuade you. What's up, guys? Hey, Brody. My son is going to be BF from FNF. Am I parenting right? Only if they don't speak. They can't walk. They can't say trick or treating. They have to go. Beep boop. You know, they have to talk in beep boops. Also, I know I've said it before, but in Isaac, I mean, I did a fucking Lost run and fucking jammed that out on a stream. That was kind of cool. But I got like all of the Lost unlocks before they made him easier by giving him Holy Mantle out the gate. Snoot Isaac crackfic when? I'm trying to think how you would do that. Make it E1 Anon, and he's crying in his closet, and he finds a hatch that leads to hell. So now he's going down to hell to get Fang's soul. Isn't Mr. Streamer too small to get enough attention to even be cancelled? You'd be surprised. After getting E1, my first playthrough of Vinny making his tails get trolled face in E4 made me happy. I find it funny that Tails Get Trolled has gotten mentioned multiple times now on stream because... mainly because of Undertale 2, but, you know. Which hell is he going down to? Ooh, that's a good question, because there's a whole bunch of different types of hell, right? I feel like it would have to be, like, Dante's Inferno type hell. I don't know where Fang would end up with that, though. Because... I can't remember all the different sins and whatnot. Just because that way you have it so that he has different floors to go through. You could just have it be, what is it? Like the fucking, is it the Christian hell, which is just fire and brimstone? And then just have it be like climbing through the layers of the earth. Kind of like Isaac does, but, you know. Take your pick. Pick your poison. Damn, Isaac Gamer. Yeah, I do bad Isaac Gamer. Low blow. Get gnomed. I mean, Mr. Shimmer got a TF2 racist. Try and mess with him. That always tickles me when I think back to the Black Klansman trying to invade my stream on TF2. Like, I don't even have, like, I'm not like some fucking 1,000 viewer channel or anything. You're doing it to like 5 people, dog. It'd be more like a Doom game for that. We'll begin my 300k fic on it. Canceling keep your snoot out. Alright, I'll let everybody in the fucking Discord know what to look forward to here. Have you seen the Ice Age version of Snoot game where the Dino Cast are Ice Age era animals? No. I am not. Anon commits tax fraud. I feel like Anon does that all the time. Probably not even out of, like, intentionally doing it. Dante's Infernal. I like Dante's Inferno Lucifer, just being stuck in a frozen lake from the waist down. Yeah, it's kind of rough, isn't it? Speaking of FNF, I caved and bought the Salvente plush, and I love Funny Ice Cream Nun. I didn't even know there was a Salvente plush. Live on Twitch. Oh, yeah. That was such a low effort troll as well. I know! I, like, felt more insulted that he didn't, like, commit to the bit more and, like, get himself banned. Like, I said it during the stream, I'm like, he didn't even join the Discord and, like, fucking start dropping, like, slurs. Like, what? He is not committed to being evil. TF2 players are either gay furries or the most racist man alive. I'll opt for the gay furries. Believe it or not. Sometimes they're both, too. That's the crazy thing. There's no in between. It was art done by Bad Fidel. I'll have to see if somebody has that in the Discord and they can just ping me it. Because I could easily take a look at it then. Uh-oh. The Limbus Bros have joined the Community Night channel, and I just saw Gato booted up. Sneak Game Banana falls out of bed during morning routine, smacks off the floor in a way he has the Chad jawline. That kind of sounds like the setup, to some extent, for like, what was it? Caveman Flow? What? You're live on Twitch? The only time I've seen that clip is like in the context of like another video where it's like, oh, Valorant versus TF2, and Valorant's like, for every kill you get, I'll do an uwu. And then it's that, and then it cuts over to the fucking TF2 clip. All he had to do was say, you know, Shadman, your career is over. Sorry, guys. I've been meaning to tell you, but Shadman's a really close buddy of mine. You see, as you can tell, I obviously have communications with him. You know, I wonder if it's going to happen and when it would happen that somebody levies like a false accusation against me. Cause like, alright, I don't think at this level I would have that. But if I kept growing, eventually it would happen, right? Like, that's just an inevitability of false accusation. And I gotta wonder, what would they try to do me in for? Insert pyrocynical pyro mod moment. Fucking huge pyro. Set up for Caveman Flow. We Raptor posting in Wani. Me too, bro. Anna, but he can only communicate like Dracula Flow. Yeah, that's Caveman Flow right there. I was reading a fic about Inko replacing Anon Snoot game called Tori Game. I'd say it's pretty good. Yep. Tori Game's on the list of ones that I want to get around to. I saw that TF2 clip from Medexcalibur. Dunking Overwatch 2 and Blizzard as a whole. I mean, fuck Overwatch 2. I can confidently say that. Fuck Overwatch 2. I'm not playing that shit. Just did, just for you, friendo. Ooh. Wait, what was that in relation to? This dude said the fuck word! No, I didn't! Lies! Lies, all of them. Pedophilia. Alright, well. I see we're jumping straight to the nuclear option. I thought, hey, maybe it would be a little funnier and it'd be something a little wacky and zany, but no, we're just gonna go ahead and have the accusation be pedophilia? Damn. That one's the low-hanging fruit, though. I feel like... I mean, I'm not a Minecraft YouTuber. Shadman's out there somewhere making his next portfolio. He's watching you from the shadows. Pedo is so uncreative. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it needs to be something bad so that I'm canceled, but like, you know, ideally not something that immediately gets me sent to prison. Just thought of, what if the characters from Snoot want to remember what ending you did last and behave a little different towards you? There's kind of stuff like that. Like there's fics where they take, or at least I've heard that there's fics where they take a certain character or like a certain ending, like for example, if we're talking about Snoot game, it could be like E1 Anon and E4 Fang, and put them back through everything. There are those. If you were to be stuck playing a AAA game or live service game as punishment in hell for the rest of eternity, what would it be? Okay, if it's live service, does that mean it's getting updates? And if it is that and it gets updates, will there be a point where the servers go down? Worst of all, it could be any of us. And Elma becomes aware he's in a video game and does the most random bullshit. Kind of like lucid dreaming, isn't it? Yes, from the Humo car window. From the Humo car window. From the car window. Whoa! Don't get big on YouTube! Homo! I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna get big on YouTube. Pedo Humo is not a furry content creator / Minecraft YouTuber. Precisely. Lucid dream. Wow, that's a good one. Doki Doki Snoot Club. Yes, it's getting updates and the game will eventually go down, but you will have access to fan-faithful recreations of the game. Okay. For eternity, everything's gonna suck at a certain point. And it has to be AAA. Ugh. See, because I feel like I would have to go with something that's multiplayer, so that way I've got human interaction, right? That, even if it's toxic, I can still work with that. Damn, that is not an easy question, because I really don't play many live service games because I don't like them. See, because if it wasn't AAA, I'd probably go with something like Gary's Mod. Since there's so much you can do with that. Warframe wouldn't be bad. Ugh. He's never beat I wanna be the guy can be a solid way to start a slander for you. And then you failing to beat it again on stream. Man, if people started coming in here and like actually accusing me of having not beat the game, I would just stare at them. I'd hit them with Stare Champ. Like, ain't no way, dog. I did not suffer through multiple streams of that for you to tell me I didn't beat that shit. You can go fuck yourself. And then they hit me with the, well, you didn't do it without doing save points. And I'll be like, yeah, right. You're correct on that. It's not gonna happen either. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank for what game I'd go with, though. Have you watched the new Transformers 1 movie? Nope. No, I'm not really movie pilled, you see. It takes a lot to get me to go watch a movie. Namely, like the movie Coming to Me. You ever tried Space Marines 2, brother streamer? Yes, I have. I beat the campaign on the hardest difficulty, solo, and I went through all of the, like, fire team missions as well. I haven't done PvP, and in the fire team missions, I would play the sniper, because I liked being able to pick off people from a distance and, like, set up the frontliners for executions. It's a very fun game. I like it a lot. I'm going to hell anyway. Just saying, Fortnite. I would not do Fortnite, I don't think. Gonna go eat 6 plastic forks. BRB. Make sure you put a plastic spoon in there too. You have to have a little bit of variety in your diet. Doors always unlocked. Grams, don't lose hope. I hate, but I love the fact that when I hear someone dub a character from Snoot, I'm like, that's not quite right. Motherfucker, your dub is the default voices in my head for Snoot now.
Yes! Got another one, baby.
I like worming my way into people's head. I want to see Wani and Snoot characters 1v1 now. I mean, it would come down to like a handful of characters that are really winning. You know what I mean? Like the skinnies aren't going to do shit. They're going to get fucking rolled pretty much. Except maybe like Anon would have a chance because he has a knife. West of Loathing maybe? West of Loathing's a pretty good game from what I remember. Haven't played it, but I remember watching Tomato play it. Though I don't know if I'd want to play that for all eternity. Accusations for Humo is he is a Ubi or Shadow Raid's legend. Shadow Raid Legends ad tuber. Guys, if I had a Shadow Raid Legends sponsorship, would you guys let me get that bag? And then like off stream I can like riff on the game really hard. Humo, Remnant 2 stream with the boys. It's got spooky Halloween zone. Perhaps. Ploppy Nodo. I hate you. What if a bunch of people came in and said Slopanodo? Guno. Oh, you guys are just having fun now. Gunodo, Ploppy Nodo, and Slopanodo. I just kind of sit there and stare. Because I'm kind of used to you guys just twisting the fucking name at this point. He'll turn into Slapnodo because he's gonna slap you. True as fuck. Spear sweeps. Yeah, Spears is a pretty strong one. We don't know Ferris's power level though. You know what I mean? Inko's built like a wet paper towel. He is not winning the fight. Absolutely not. Plabodo. Who would win, Spears or Solly? Spears. Solly's strong, but Spears bodies cars. Snoot game cosplays as the boys. Could be interesting. Get that fucking bag. Get that bag, Humo. Well, they'd have to give me enough money to warrant me even fucking doing it, and they probably wouldn't. Although, I mean, hey, people say that fucking Raid Shadow Legends money is pretty big. It'd be kind of like selling my soul though, because I think I'm like opposed to the business transactions of Raid Shadow Legends. I'd be okay with playing Slay the Spire with mods for all eternity. Wouldn't be a bad one. I want to see the Sumo Nodo. Just start bodying people. This new game, except Anon has schizophrenia. The voices in his head manifest. I can't even pronounce your name. Humonoto. Easy. I'll start a few Android VMs to inflate those install numbers. Hell yeah. See Artif? This is why I keep you around. I know you're a ride or die, bitch. And on their dead, they died 6 years ago in the car crash. Huh? I see canonically that Olivia has a gun because of so many memes, so she solos. It is kind of a funny idea, just Olivia rolling around and then like somebody be like, hey, give me your money with a knife, and she just whips out the fucking clock. With the switch. Humo no to. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Now here's the fun let me pause this for a second. Here's the fun moment for me. I've got my food now, but it's about time to read. And if I read, this food's going to be cold. So I might like quickly try and devour some of this. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. So that way I don't have to worry about having to reheat this after stream. But that begs the question, what do I do? What do I do? Like I can't like ASMR slurp stream. I think I'll kill some people with that. Let's see. Can I get something to like keep you guys busy? Let's see. Do you guys got any like brain rot shit I can just put on? I can hop on and read chat while you eat. That work. I'll jump in the recording room. I can jump in the recording room for a bit. I need like a Subway Surfers. Okay. We can put on Subway Surfers. Hold up. Subway Surfers 10 hours. Subway Surfer 10 hour. 10 hour loop of Subway Surfers.
Epic Radical. Hey Chad, it's your favorite mod, Big Iron here. What's up, Chad? How we doing?
Alright.
Baby Mozart. Yes, indeed.
What do you think? Baby Mozart or Subway Surfers?
Yeah, man, I don't know what Baby Mozart is. You're gonna have to like kill me on that.
I don't really know what it is either. I just remember that Roach was playing it when I was playing in Heat. And it was like they were rotting live, I think.
Oh, that's the one that has like all the fucking like
I think that was Baby Mozart.
Mental conditioning you to like be a school shooter, like yes.
Unless I'm tripping, was that something else?
The psyop videos, yeah, put those on.
Is this it? Baby Mozart. Oh no, yeah, this was definitely what he was playing.
Yeah, well, chat, we're gonna have a treat, chat. These videos will be your mental conditioning activation codes.
All right, just assume that this part of the fucking VOD is gonna get content.
It's so over, chat.
YouTube actively just shot me in the head.
Oh no.
No, I think it'll come back in a minute here. Hold up.
Do we have to put on other brain rot into the chat?
Maybe we can do Skibbity Toilet 10 hour version or something.
Oh man.
Is the stream back up? I've stopped the evil.
Hold on, let me hit live. It is still unavailable. Wait, you might have to restart stream, bro. I don't know. The glowies have got us, guys. I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna stay here for a minute.
Someone's activation code has been set off, and the glowies have caught wind. I wonder. Someone's asking if it's still live on the Twitch side of things. I don't know. That's a good.
I'm pretty sure Twitch is still live.
That'd be funny. Hold on. Let's see how things are going on the Twitch side of things.
Bring up more baby sensory videos.
Yeah, the Twitch side of things is still up, man. Twitch bros, I guess, stay winning this time.
I'm just wondering if now that it's not up there, if it's gonna come back in a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how that works. I've never seen anything like that happen. We got some people migrating over to the Twitch side.
I do see that.
That's funny.
I might need to bring down the YouTube stream for. Oh no, I think we're back. Your stream is no longer being blocked due to copyright issues. We're good, boys. Right. We're back. I think it says it in the. All right. Well, we're shit.
So back at.
Okay. Skibbity Toilet. 10 hours. All right. Skibbity Toilet 10 hour, and we're gonna put it on 2 times speed.
This
Okay.
is probably my first like raw exposure to this level of brain rot.
Here you
I
go,
have
guys.
no idea what Skibidi Toilet is.
And now to make sure it works, we're also going to, as a precaution, I'm gonna rotate it.
That's a crisp 380p resolution
There we
video.
go.
You love to see it.
Here you go.
Oh, this is quality content right
There you go.
here.
All right, I'm going back to eating.
Chat, aren't you glad this is what your donated dollar dues are going for? This level of production quality. Hell yeah. Esoteric number station, Baby Mozart is copywritten. Apparently. They got IAS. Someone said, never mind, please go back to the error screen. How are things going on the Twitch side? Anything funny? I'm having a goddamn stroke right now. That sounds about right.
Shuhan subscribed.
Skibbity yes. Oh. Well, I did a war crime. Sorry, Humo and Will. Oh, sorry. It happens, man. You know, you get your activation code, and you know, one thing leads to another. Just be watching the news tonight, I guess, guys.
I'm gonna message Roach and tell him that Baby Mozart got me shot on stream.
Village. Someone said, I swear it's getting slightly faster. You know, I wonder. Is this just like a YouTube reel, like, just on repeat? Man. Should we spare them and give them some, like, 90-degree angle Subway Surfers videos instead?
Yeah, I could do that. Subway
What a weird image, like, time to pause.
Surfers gameplay 10 hours. Here we go. Okay. And then I'll turn it completely 90 degrees.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Let's go, chat. How far can he go, chat? Look at that reflexive skill. You know, sometimes streamer has moments like this because streamer needs a treat. You guys are probably hating this, I'm sure, but this is, oh, he died. Big sad. Can we get F's in chat? This is a streamer treat moment, truly. I mean, guys, we're just suffering before we suffer. You know what I mean? Like, we're just getting you in the right headspace for None in the Chambers. Existential dread. Grams and all gifted 1 Streaming Corner membership. Yippee! Guess who got it, Artiv? Truly, Artiv stays winning.
Alright, the studio's not complaining, so we're still good.
Chat is loving this, by the way. I'm gonna check, Seems like things are going well on the Twitch side of things, too. Should we do this more often?
No. Probably not.
Do you imagine just starting like every stream like this?
I'm pretty sure there'd be a riot in the Discord.
Yeah. Oh, he died again. This guy's a terrible Subway Surfers player.
I got an idea.
Cars says put on an episode of MLP. Well, if we wanted to get nuked before, we would definitely get nuked then. And also, no, stay losing, Pony Boys. Did you slow down those Subway Surfers footage?
0.25 speed.
You're such a shit ass. Chat, what's your highest score on Subway Surfers? Someone said 42, 15. God is dead and we killed him. Yea, verily, Victor.
Okay, I finished my food. I'm gonna go fill my water up, and then you guys will lose the brain rot.
You'll love to see it. Mr. Streamer's gotta get the guagua. And I love you too, SWATcats22. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Humo, make sure to include this in the master cut. I can assure you that in the master cut that this will definitely be making it in all of its glorious detail. Will, is this the true sand vision? God, I hope so.
Okay, I'm back now. I release you from your accursed brain rot.
Alright. Well, good luck with the stream, Mr. Streamer.
Thanks for thanks for jumping in to help out a little bit there. Much appreciated.
Anytime, dog. Alright. Have fun, chat.
All right. Roach replied. Oh, okay. Fuck. He said no. Actually, he said, "What? You're fucking with me?" I'm like, nah, dog. They done put my stream muted for 3 minutes. God damn. God damn. Alright, hold up a sec. I gotta get some of these little goobers off the screen since I gotta get the desktop thing up. Let me go over there and grab that real quick. I wonder how that's gonna look in the VOD for this when it decides to shoot me on YouTube. Like, is it just going to cut right from where it stopped to when it cut back on? Because if so, that's funny. Because of this, you have to read an extra chapter. Because of that statement, I'm only reading half a chapter. Don't try to negotiate with me. You will always lose. Get shit on. Desktop Fang with the bars, right? No, because Fang didn't go to prison. We would need a straight jacket, but I don't have one of those ready to go. Fuck you, Humo. No, fuck you, idiot. No, give the rot back. See, this is what it is sometimes. People, you start dangling the fruit in front of them, and then they're like, wow. I want that forbidden fruit. Alright. Well, you fellas are here for the yap, and now you're here for the fucking reading. So I feel like it's probably just about time to get into that latter portion, don't you think? Don't you think? Put a cropped Subway Surfer in the corner. Man. Hold up. Wait, is the dude from Subway Surfers named Jake? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, so later, Sierra. There you go. There you go. kind of just need to let Jake know. Hey Jake, did you know that the dude from Subway Surfer is named Jake? Okay. Now that that's taken care of. Ugh. 10 hours. 10 hours of silence occasionally interrupted by reverb fart. Can we get an animation loop of Jake Subway surfing? You probably fucking can if you tried hard enough. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it was a copyright strike, by the way. I'll have to take a look. I think it just paused it. And it's going to yell at me after stream and say, you need to take care of this. And I'll say, okay, just fucking mute that section. Easy. Mute that. Just cut it out. Just cut it out. And we'll be fine. And if it is a copyright strike, I think they expire after like 90 days or something. Oops. Oopsies. Streamer needed to eat. We go full negative brain cell mode. Fucking truly. Alright, so, let's see. What were we doing last time we were here? We went on the fucking... Let's see. Right, there was the whole thing with, Stella, where, Anon had a fucking picnic attack, and things are not good on that front. We hit Christmas. Christmas is going good. Trish is actually having a way better time than she was before. And things are looking pretty nice right now. The things that are not looking pretty nice are obviously Fang in the mental institution and Stella probably receding in on herself. That part not good. But we've got like, what, 6 chapters? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 chapters to make it right. We can do that, I think. But without further ado, we're already an hour 40 in. Let's go ahead and get this chapter read, shall we? Chapter 27. Change of pace. Once I was a sinner, helped build a tower to touch the sky. Today I pray for salvation. Following the road to heaven. So, when are you gonna get a job, Trish? She pauses with her fork halfway to her mouth, glares at me for a moment, then slowly puts it down and drums on the table with her fingers. I'm just asking, adds, seeing her frown. Living with your old man is not a sound plan for the future. She sighs, takes a sip of her veggie smoothie, and picks up her fork. I know, she rubs her eyes, murmuring under her breath. I know. Dad's told me that I can take as much time as I need to get back on my feet. I nod and cut my steak. You were awfully cheerful during the group session today. I smirk. Living with your old man does you good? She smirks to her salad and stuffs a forkful of it in her mouth. She chews, nodding slowly and looking at me before swallowing and rubbing a piece of tomato off the corner of her mouth. Yep, she says. You weren't a depressed little bitch yourself. She raises her glass, and I raise mine. To moving on, I say. Hey, I'll drink to that. She takes a sip. I watch her as she drinks. She's sitting upright, her former air of confidence restored to a large degree. She's looking around with bright eyes and a small, confident smirk lingering on her face. The complete opposite of who she was half a year ago, when she cried in my arms at the hospital. It's good to see. I wonder how Stella's doing. Rosa hasn't mentioned her name since my meeting with Stego. And each time she gets a call from her, she frowns and glowers, but neither declines nor accepts it. Cooking her on a slow fire, I suppose, like a frog. You look like you just ate a lemon. What's up? I blink and turn to Trish. She's looking at me with a slight frown and her smirk gone. Oh, I've just been thinking about Stella. What about her? It takes me a moment to muster up enough guts to tell her about the meeting. I describe it all to her. Trish's face changes as my narration progresses, from attentive when she listens about the beginning of the conversation, to wide-eyed surprise upon learning of Stella's arguments, to seething rage as I describe how Stella kept pressing me beyond my breaking point. By the end, she's clenching her fist around the fork so tightly that I fear she might bend it. Calm down, Trish. I don't want to pay for the fork. She ignores what I've said. What the hell is wrong with her? A low, angry snort escapes her, like one from a small bull. She isn't stupid. She pauses, then continues with vicious smugness. Well, given what she did, she might have gotten brain damage since we last saw her. Another snort. Maybe that bitch of a mother smacked her on her head. I set my fork down on my plate with a clatter. She blinks. Don't say shit like that. She isn't blind, Anon. Trish growls. She saw what effect her words had. If she still persisted, she's not only stupid, she's retarded. She finally lets go of the fork, which clatters down onto the table. It's bent. Great. That's like $30 added to our bill. If I ever get my hands on her, I'll choke her out. She makes a choking gesture with her hands. No one messes with my friends. While I find the showcase of violent care somewhat endearing, I also find it quite disturbing. Other patrons think so too, heads are already turning. I speak up, attempting to stop her from making a show out of herself. Calm down, people are staring. She grumbles, but puts her hands down on the table. Let 'em. She grabs her fork. I stopped giving a shit about what they say a long time ago. You did indeed. Don't be mad at Stella. She fucked you up, Anon. She cuts me off. After Jesus fucking Christ. Anon, you're doing it again. I narrow my eyes. Doing what? Justifying someone trampling you into the dirt. She leans forward and with a frown and a glare. You did that with that old fuck. Now you're doing it with her. It's called being considerate, I say. Sure, but your consideration should have limits. She sits back, crossing her arms. You can't just excuse every motherfucker attempting to trample you. She wasn't trampling me. Not like Ripley. I protest. She was just misguided. I'm sure she had the best intentions in mind. She scoffs and snorts, but doesn't say a word. Instead, she grabs the fork and, disregarding its bent shape, digs into her salad with a scary vehemence. She's stabbing the poor veggies as if they were Stella's own face. She chews on them as if she's gnawing on Stella's fingers. Damn. I wonder if she was the bruiser of the band. She can muster up terrifying presence when she wants to. Better change the subject before she gets even more annoyed. So, you agreed to meet up with Reed? She stops chewing, For a moment, she sits with her eyes glued to the remains of the salad, then slowly lifts her head and looks me in the eyes. She moves her jaw a few more times before swallowing, wiping her mouth with her forearm and downing half a glass of her veggie smoothie. Yeah, she says. We're meeting on New Year's Eve. She snorts. Kind of poetic, don't you think? I nod. She inclines her head and rests her forehead in her palm. She tosses the salad around with her fork for a moment, then looks at me without lifting her head and studies me for a couple seconds. Why are you asking? Reed asked me to tag along. He said that I'm a common link. I draw quotation marks in the air with my fingers. Between you two. Trish considers for a moment, playing with her food as she muses. She then lifts her eyes to me again. Will you go? I don't know. I shrug. This is something between you two. I don't want to intrude. She reaches out and squeezes my hand, which gives me a pause. I look at her, then at its owner. She's looking at me with earnestness quite unusual for her, and a glimmer in her eye that speaks of great inner turmoil. She stares at me like that for a couple seconds, then leans over the table. Please come with him, she implores me. I know that he... She pauses with a tremble. He doesn't like me. He'll be less likely to do something rash with you around. I want to take my hand away, but she's holding it too damn hard for me to be able to do it without a struggle, so I just let her hold it. I do turn my head to the side to avoid her eyes, though, to give myself a moment's respite from that earnest, imploring look. I don't know. Remember how you stopped him the last time I spoke with him? The stares, him growling, her terrified crying, huddled into a corner. Does she know that Reed has changed since then, too? That he's not as angry and snappy as he was before? That he won't growl and hiss at her the moment he lays his eyes on her? Or maybe she knows. Rosa could have told her. But even if she knows about his change of character, she may not know the extent of it. Yeah. I rub my forehead. And he himself asked you to go. She squeezes my hand hard enough for it to hurt. Please go with him. All right. I wiggle my fingers. She loosens her hold on me and pulls back. I'll go with him. She sighs in relief and smiles. Thanks, Skinny. I snort. Fuck you, Trigger. She finger guns me. Right back at you, spear chucker. I flick her horn. She punches me in the arm. We glare at one another for a moment, ready to retaliate further, before Trish gives a short chuckle and sits back in her chair. She shields her eyes and keeps chuckling, spreading her fingers to look at me. Very soon I find that I'm chuckling at myself. I don't know why, but her laugh is quite contagious when paired with her peeking at me from behind her fingers. What are you laughing at, huh? I grin. What are you laughing at? She retorts, giggling like a retarded hyena. I'm laughing at a Trigger, I point at her. And I'm laughing at a Skinny. She nods at me. Our laughter dies down a short moment later. With renewed appetites, we make short work of what is left of our food. And after paying the bill, and making Trish to pay for the fork and full, we leave the restaurant and head out into the city. We don't talk much. We don't know where we're going. It's nice to just wander around this damn city and not worry about anything. It takes me back to the good old days of spring, when me and Lucy went looking for that venue. That thought makes me pause. I stop, absentmindedly reaching into my pocket and pull out one of my cigs. Trish walks a short distance before noticing that I stopped. She looks over her shoulder and, seeing me light up a cig with a slightly trembling hand, she turns on her heel and walks back to me. What's wrong? She looks up at me earnestly. I wave my hand in an unspecified direction. I've been here before. When me and Lucy went looking for that venue. I remember the concert. Her face falls a little. She turns away from me with both her fists clenched. The street is quite busy, with crowds of people and heavy traffic, but even in the hubbub of the city center, I can still faintly hear her swearing. She's shaking her head too, her curls bouncing along. Sorry. I take a drag on the cig. Sorry, I didn't mean to. No. She spins in place. No, it's fine. She puts on a confident smirk. It's a good memory, that evening, you know. I take the cigarette out of my mouth and scratch my cheek with my wrist. Even with, now I fucked it up. Even with how you fucked it up, she nods. That evening, we felt like actual rock stars. Her smirk melts away into a smile. I give a hesitant nod. She comes up closer and fist bumps my chest. Don't be a sulky bitch now. She nods behind her. Come on. I put the cig into my mouth, and my hands into my pockets, then follow behind her. She looks over her shoulder from time to time, as if she was afraid that I'd leave her and run off somewhere. I raise my hand in greeting each time, which elicits a nod from her. After some time, we arrive at a neighborhood very reminiscent of that in which Reed's parents' apartment is. I actually pause and look around the area, taken by an unpleasant feeling that we may come across Reed here. But after a moment of surveying my surroundings, my fear dispels. Alright, Anon, I gotta go. I blink and look at her. She's standing some distance away, on a small paved pathway leading towards a small gate. I look up. Man, that is one big building. Who lives here? I look back at her. My dad. She fishes for something in her hoodie pocket, pulling out a key card after a moment. Thanks for the lunch, Anon. She opens up the gate with it. See ya. She enters. I give a small wave after doing a Snoogle map search. And after doing a Snoogle map search, I head off to the nearest bus stop. One call home later, I'm sitting in a bus thinking about the group session, about Trish, and about Reed. Mostly about the latter two. I wonder how their meeting will go. It won't go terribly, I can be sure of that at least. They both changed significantly since they've seen each other last, so there's a chance this won't devolve into a screaming match. I get off the bus at my usual stop and head off to the farm. As I go into the yard, I see Rosa, leaving the house, twirling her car keys around her finger, dressed up in a jacket and a pair of jeans. She notices me almost at the same moment I notice her and pauses briefly. What's up, sis? I come up to her. I was just about to leave for Samantha's house. She pockets the car keys. What for? Oh, she needs help cleaning up, Rosa explains. Would you like to come with me? I hesitate, looking aside and rubbing my nape. Going back to the Aaron household? I don't know, Rosa. I mumble. I've got farm work to do. I won't force you, but Miss Murphy would appreciate your help. She comes up to me and looks me in the eyes. She puts a hand on my shoulder. I know that there are memories tied to that place, some of which are very unpleasant. I avert my gaze by turning my head. My fist clenches, seemingly on its own. I clench my teeth while my heart starts beating stronger. Most of the memories I have in the house are actually pretty pleasant, like the afternoon when Lucy opened her heart to me through a song. But they're tainted by what came after. But you can't let your fears control you, Anon, Rosa says softly. Remember what psychiatrist said. Words of Doc Violet rise from the murky smear of remembrance our countless therapy sessions have melded into. You must face your fears head on to overcome them, Anon. She proposed to take me to my old school during that session, to which I had protested so violently that she dropped the idea immediately. She did repeat those very same words afterwards, though, and asked me to think about her proposal. I didn't give it much thought. I think I completely repressed it from my memory. Well, one step at a time. Slow and steady wins the race, that kind of shit. Alright. I turn my head to look at her. But if something happens, I will take you back home immediately, she promises, squeezing my arm. I will be there for you, hermanito. She pulls me into a loose hug and pats my back. I put my arms around her and rest my chin on her shoulder for a moment. She squeezes me a bit tighter, sighing softly. There's nothing to worry about. She won't let any harm come to me. Hell, she opened one hell of a can of verbal whoop-ass on Stella because of me. Thank you, sis. We separate. She goes inside the house to tell Simone and Marisa about our plans, and comes out a short time later with permission to take me along. Granted by our parents. As we go to the car, Simone steps out onto the porch. Remember what you promised Rosa, he calls out to us in Spanish. I remember, Papa. I notice Alicia peeking out from behind him. The aunt stayed behind after Christmas, and she'll be staying until the new year. She's looking at me with a degree of worry and earnest interest, which give her a sort of motherly air. Noticing that I'm looking at her, she quickly sets her eyes on Rosa and, pretending to ignore me, she addresses her in their mother tongue. Don't stay out there too long, Rosa. She's speaking in her usual dry, harsh tone. We still have a lot of preparations left for New Year's Eve. Of course, Rosa laughs. We'll be back in the evening. We get into the car and head off to Volcadero. We drive in silence for a short time before Rosa flicks the music player on. I start drumming on my knee to the rhythm of cumbia music, a small smile spreading across my face. I let my thoughts wander. That pleasant state of mind doesn't last for very long, as pretty soon, I realize just what I'm about to do. I'm about to go back to Lucy's home. To walk those familiar rooms. Will I be able to handle the delusion of memories? Rosa will be there with me, sure, but will her presence alone be enough for me to weather the encroaching storm? Why the hell did I even agree to go with her? Too late to turn back now, you know. Just tell Rosa that you changed your mind and you don't feel up to it. Or it's not too late. I won't. I made up my mind. It's natural to have doubts in my situation. Don't go overboard. Yeah, I know. We enter the family suburb, or the familiar suburb. I look around for Banji's house, then I remember that it's a different part of the neighborhood. Realizing that doesn't improve my mood in the slightest, but I put on a mask of confidence and, feeling Rosa's eyes on me, incline my head and pretend to be lost in thought. I'm so good at pretending to be lost in the depths of my own mind that I don't even notice when we come to a stop. I blink and look around. The first thought that comes to my mind upon seeing the facade of the familiar house is Ripley. For a brief moment, lasting no longer than a heartbeat, I'm gripped by a wild fancy that he will suddenly emerge from the house and drag me out of the car to kick my ass. I grip my knee, shutting my eyes tight. Calm down. Ripley's in prison. Only person is in this house now is Samantha. Samantha. Living here with only the memories of her children for company. Well, memories of one of her children. She renounced the other one a long time ago. Aren't you a ray of sunshine? Very fucking funny, Conscience. There's a very plain-looking silver sedan on the driveway. Some old Chevrolet from the 90s, I think. Looks like crap. Probably drives as good as it looks. The absence of the NASCAR doesn't surprise me. Mo already told me that she got rid of it shortly after leaving the hospital. Her reasoning, relayed to me by him, rings in my ears. Too many painful memories tied to that car, kid. You and I both, Samantha, you and I both. We get out of the car. As we go to Samantha's new old car, I glance at the trunk and notice a badge there. Chevrolet Lumina. Rosa taps my shoulder to get my attention and pulls me towards the door. She knocks. For a long, long moment, there's no answer. Not even the sound coming from inside. No TV, no radio, no footsteps, no voices. Seeing how the lawn is only partially trimmed, complete with a lawnmower abandoned in the process, it all makes the whole property feel as if it's been suddenly abandoned years ago. Truly a ghost house. I'm just about to turn to Rosa and ask her to call Samantha so we know she's even home when we hear the key click in the lock. The door opens, just a tiny little bit, and from behind it, Samantha pokes her head out. She looks tired, very much so. Her hair is a bit disheveled. Oh, her voice is quite opposite of her looks. Rosa, dear, thank you for coming. She fully opens the door and hugs her affectionately. She raises her eyebrows in surprise upon seeing me at first, but quickly checks herself and greets me with a kind smile. Good afternoon, Anna, dear. I didn't expect to see you here. I lift my hand in greeting. I thought I'd come by and lend a hand. She nods and slowly rubs her hands. Yes, yes. I'll take all the help I can get. She sighs softly. Come on in. We step inside. The moment I cross the threshold, the air of dilapidation hits me like a brick. The floor isn't just dusty, it's dirty. There are many old shoe tracks on the carpet, which itself is covered in thin layer of dirt and dried blades of grass. The tiny table under the wall on which the landline phone used to sit is buried under a pile of open envelopes, most of which held bills at some point. The phone itself is balancing atop the pile of papers, the cord dangling loosely like a tail of a sleeping cat. Samantha leads us deeper into the house. We go past the living room, where I immediately notice the absence of Ripley's favorite armchair, as well as how bare the trophy wall is. Some of the pegs on which the trophies used to hang are bent, as if someone tore the animal heads down in a fit of rage. There are a few dents on the floor. The couch is strewn with old clothes. The living room table is littered with takeout boxes. What hits me the most is the smell. It's not a stench, but it's very distinct and hard to ignore. It's a smell of old, stale takeout mixed with the earthy smell of dirt, which, while not disgusting, is more shocking to me than everything that I've seen so far. It permeates everything, sticking to the furniture, floor, walls, and us like a thick, gelatinous mist. Samantha doesn't seem to notice either the mess or the smell. I exchange looks with Rosa. Her eyes are wide open. She's looking around in a state of quiet shock. We stand in the living room for a long, awkward moment, while Samantha hastily picks up the bundles of clothes to make room for us on the couch. Rosa, seeing her toss the clothes onto an armchair adjacent to the couch and moving to clear the table, clears her throat. Samantha pauses and looks at us over her shoulder. There's a brief moment of vacancy in her look, as if she's running on an autopilot. It disappears after she blinks a time or two, and is supplanted by tiredness and slight resignation. She's not depressed. She's really tense. The mess the house has become is overwhelming to her. Miss Murphy, let's get to work, I propose. We can sit down after we're done. Rosa nods. Samantha looks at me, then at the takeout boxes. She stands still for a moment, her face turned away from us. I catch a glimpse of her hand clenching into a fist. Hearing a curse murmured in an angry tone of self-reproach, I reach out and touch her shoulder and reaffirm her somehow. But I'm stopped by Rosa tapping me on the shoulder. I look at her, and she shakes her head.
All right.
Samantha stands up straight and takes a quick, rigid breath.
Let's get started.
She turns to us, rubbing her hands.
There should be some trash bags in the kitchen.
She turns and leads us through the living room, which is in the same messy state as the rest of the house. Something tells me that Mo didn't visit often, or that his visits didn't last long. His restaurant is hella busy, but it's spotless. I glance at the pile of plastic plates and cutlery, some of which have dried remains of food stuck to them. Rosa glances all over the room as we go through it, marking every piece of garbage, every tiny little speck of dirt, and dust like a targeting computer of a fighter jet. She's trying her best to hide her disgust at the state of the room, but even if greatly restrained, her grimace tells me all I need to know. I squeeze her shoulder and smirk at her reassuringly. She returns the smile and nods curtly.
Can I open the windows, Miss Samantha? She asks. This air is...
She pauses.
Muy malo.
Samantha pauses at the threshold of the kitchen and glances back at Rosa.
Oh, the smell.
She pauses.
I stopped noticing it.
She cowers, cringing.
Yes, open the windows. All the windows. We need to air it all out.
Rosa pats me on the arm. I nod and go to the window on the left side of the room, while she goes to the one adjacent to it. We open them both at the same time, letting in a gust of crisp afternoon air, bringing in the smell of local greenery.
I'll open the windows in the living room,
Rosa mutters to me, nodding at Samantha. The little Taro is resting her forehead on the wall, clinging onto the door frame with one hand, crumpling her shirt with the other. All right, I nod to Samantha. Miss Murphy, you said there's some trash bags in the kitchen? She flinches, almost jumps when she hears my voice. Her head turns and shoots upward at the same time, and within a second, I'm looking her in the eyes. There's this vacancy in her eyes again. A coping mechanism, and a very unhealthy one.
Oh!
She perks up as if realizing I've asked her something. A hint of a smile returns to her face.
Yes, let's go.
We enter the kitchen. The sink is full of dirty dishes. Plates, pots, pans, with dried up remains of food and sauces stuck to them. The counter is occupied by unwashed mugs and plates. There's an unpleasant smell coming from under the sink. Upon the windowsill, turned upside down, sits the only clean mug in the whole room. Maybe even in the whole house.
So, those trash bags then?
Samantha starts rummaging through the cupboards. I stand in the entrance for a moment, then join the search. With our forces combined, we find the bags before Rosa comes back from the living room and takes in the kitchen. Pure disgust at the state of it flashes on her face before she gets under control and masks it with a courteous smile.
So, Miss Samantha, maybe I'll clean upstairs?
she proposes. Anon, Anon can help you here. Samantha stops fiddling with her mug and sets it back down on the windowsill. Yes, she cleans her throat and rubs her hands. Yes, dear, go and clean upstairs. You'll find the vacuum cleaner in the closet, in the hallway. Rosa hesitates for a moment. She glances at me, then quickly turns her eyes back to Samantha, who's fiddling with the edge of her shirt. About their rooms, Samantha begins. You can open the windows and... Samantha trails off. She crumples up the edge of her shirt in her fist. She stands there, kneading it with her hand for a couple seconds. I wait. Rosa waits. Neither of us wants to disturb her, but I can't help to think that Samantha really needs therapy. She was left to her own devices by her own husband as soon as he got his hands on me. Then their marriage fell apart. What happened after completed the ruin. In her room. Don't touch anything else. Rosa waits for a moment. When Samantha doesn't continue the subject, she speaks up. What about these? Samantha spins on her heel. Within a second, she's rigid, with such a wild look in her eyes that I take a step back. No! Rosa steps back. Samantha blinks. She hangs her head and rubs her temples with her hands, murmuring reproaches at herself. No, she says softly and calmly. Don't go in there, dear. Only I can go in there. Do you understand? Rosa nods. Samantha keeps looking at her for a couple seconds, then turns away and stares at the dirty dishes while I turn to Rosa to give her a few garbage bags. When I turn back to the tarot, she's shielding her face with both her hands, shuddering. I turn to ask Rosa for help, but my stepsis has already gone upstairs, judging from where her footsteps are coming from. Great. Miss Murphy? Samantha doesn't answer. I stand for a moment with the roll of trash bags in my hand, looking at her, unsure as what to do. Then I clutch the bags tight with my hand. Don't just stand here. Do something. I open the cupboard under the sink. The trash can is overflowing with all sorts of garbage. The unpleasant smell of slowly decomposing trash makes me cringe in a wave of nausea. As the wave of nausea makes my stomach clench, but I don't even peep. I tie up the bag, lift the garbage can, and carry it outside. It's dirty like hell. We'll need to wash it, but that can come later. When I come back to the kitchen, I see Samantha busying herself with putting the plates of cutlery into the washing machine. She glances at me as I stop by the sink and start handing her the dishes. A very small smile sprouts on her snout for the briefest of moments before she again sulks back into gloom and sadness. Once the dishwasher is full, I immediately turn her attention to the kitchen counters, while I busy myself with sweeping and mopping the floors. I don't allow her a moment of idleness, a moment to think, to let herself be once again taken up by her own dark thoughts. We're busy. Busy. Within an hour, the kitchen counters and floor in the kitchen are clean. I take Samantha with me to the living room, where we clean up the takeout boxes and other trash, then put them outside for garbage collectors. After that is done with, there are dishes to be taken out of the dishwasher and wiped dry. Samantha's mood gradually improves as we progress with the cleaning up. We chat all the while, with me leading the conversation. She doesn't try to take initiative in either the cleaning or the chit-chatting we're having, completely submitting to my leadership. So, Miss Murphy, did you get that job? I ask her as I put the plates into the cupboard. She gets up from the washing machine. Oh, yes. She laughs softly and turns it on. Oh, yes, I'm a teacher now. I smirk. That's great. I pause to look at her. She's looking around the now clean kitchen with a much brighter eye than before. That hint of a smile I saw on her face earlier is lingering there. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I'm on probationary now. She walks up to the window and closes her eyes, allowing her hair to sway in the rising wind. Miss Scaler is a very considerate and kind woman, and she's satisfied with my conduct, so I hope they'll hire me full-time. I nod and get back to putting away the dishes. She goes to the sink and starts washing the pans. About that man you mentioned, I begin. She pauses and looks at me. Then, when she realizes who I'm alluding to, her smile widens a bit and she gives a faint blush. Oh, Yadikin? He's a very charming man, yes. He's got a wife. A very good woman from what he told me. I don't show it, but I can't help but to be a little disappointed in this discovery. Samantha genuinely sounded excited when she spoke to me about that Yetican guy last time. Of course, I can't wish for a guy to dump his wife to go after Samantha, even if it would please and flatter her. But still, the disappointment remains.
He doesn't want to talk much about her, though.
I look at Samantha. She stops scrubbing the pot and is now looking inside it with a contemplative look on her face. Rocky relationship? I suggest. She shakes her head.
No, I don't think so.
She forces herself to smile.
Well, if he wants to talk about her, he will.
She looks at me.
I won't force him.
I nod and crouch by the dishwasher to put the remainder of the dishes in. Samantha, meanwhile, keeps talking about the school itself and its student body, both of which she finds most agreeable, and especially the latter.
I tell you, Hanon, the children at that school are the gentlest young creatures.
She pauses, her smile faltering for a moment. She lifts her hand to wipe her eye. One silent sob racks her body, then, with an effort that'd be obvious to anyone, she forces herself to stand up straight and smile.
By the by, Hanon.
She turns her head to me. Yes, Miss Murphy?
Do you know any car mechanics?
I stop with a plate in my hand. Is there something wrong with your car?
Oh, it won't start sometimes,
She explains.
I sometimes have to spend at least 15 minutes to get it going.
I open my mouth to propose Philippe's services, but stop myself. I'm helping him regularly when he fixes up the car on the farm now. This seems like a problem with ignition. It wouldn't hurt to take a look at it. I can help, I propose. After Rose is done upstairs, I'll take a look at it.
Really? She smiles warmly. I'd be most obliged, dear.
Not a problem, Miss Murphy. I nod, smile, and put the plate into the dishwasher.
To think that he...
She pauses again, going rigid with fires of rage suddenly flaring up in her eyes before dying out just as quickly.
He said you weren't a good man.
She scoffs. He was right back then, I tell her. I wasn't a good man back then. I stare into the dishwasher for a second. I wasn't a man back then at all, in a sense. I hear her drop the sponge and approach me.
You've changed, very much for the better.
She pats my shoulder.
You're a good man, dear.
Thank you, Miss Murphy. I look up at her over my shoulder. Rosa comes in.
Hey, Miss Samantha. I finished cleaning upstairs.
She wipes her forehead.
The dirty clothes are in the laundry basket, and I took out the trash.
She looks around.
I see that you two are busy as well.
She nods with a smile.
This place looks much better now.
Samantha pats my shoulder again.
It's thanks to him. He didn't let me rest for a moment.
She giggles.
Bien.
Rosa exclaims.
Miss Samantha, Anna will finish up here. Let's go clean up the hall. I actually asked Anna to take a look at my car.
Samantha explains.
Oh.
Rosa glances at me.
We'll finish here then. Get to it, hermanito.
I get up, dust my knees off, and head to the front door. The living and dining rooms look much better now. There's no garbage or random clothes strewn about. Instead of the weird, stale odor filling the rooms, there's a pleasant smell of citrus-scented floor cleaner, mingling with the aroma of flowers from the garden. I head outside, grabbing my jacket from the peg, and pop open the hood of Samantha's car. Man, is this engine dirty and rusty. Ignition may be the least of its problems, but it's the most immediate one, so I better get to it first. I go back inside the house, and after getting the remote to the garage door from Samantha, I open it and start to rummage through in search of a workshop lamp. After finding it, I can begin the inspection in earnest. I quickly go through the standard stuff first. Check the oil and coolant levels, see if the timing belt isn't worn out, those kinds of things. I find the oil level lacking, which I remedy with a can of motor oil I find in the garage. Good thing Ripley kept himself well supplied. Wonder if Samantha sold his car, or if it was impounded for one reason or another. Who cares? He's in prison. Won't get much use out of it now. I put the oil away and check the battery. Philippe told me once, when we were fixing one of his friend's cars, that if the car won't start, you should clean the battery terminals. Really easy, he told me. Just detach them and give them a good scrub with a wire brush. I helped myself to Ripley's toolbox and fish out a crescent wrench. After putting on workshop gloves so I don't electrocute myself, I unscrew the terminals and grab a wire brush from one of the shelves. A few minutes of scrubbing later, most of the dirt and oxidation are gone. I reattach the terminals and get in. I put in the key and turn it. The crank turns a couple times, but the engine doesn't start. Right. I turn the key a few more times, listening for the sounds of fuel pump doing its job. It does not do its job, and a warning light's on the dashboard, so something's up with the pump. Fuck, this is outside of my expertise. Time to call an expert. Calling Philippe. He picks up. There's some ambient car workshop noises in the background. Power tools being used, car engines, and a shitty radio playing rock music at full volume. Hey, Anon, what's up? Hey, Philippe. I turn the key again. No luck. I'm fixing Miss Samantha's car. She sold her old one, and I need help with an engine problem. Hey, tell me what's wrong with it. It won't start. I already cleaned the terminals. Does it crank? Yes. Is the check engine light on when you try to start it? No. ECU is fucked. I sit there in silence for a moment. Great. She'll need to take it to a mechanic then. By fuck, do you mean broken or... Well, fucked is in not working right now. Philippe explains to me. What's the make and the model? Chevraki Lumina. It's an old one. Look around in the inside of the car. Philippe snorts in my ear. Of course it's an old one. This model barely made it out of the 90s. He snorts again. Those are pretty reliable. Very hard to fuck them up. What state is the engine in? I described to him the filth and rust caking the engine, which prompted him to utter a few viciously sounding Spanish curses aimed at the head of the poor son of a bitch who brought the car to such a state. This goes on for a minute or so before he stops and sighs, muttering to himself. You need to start with the main relay and see if it's working. If not, I'll tell you how to fix it. And if it's not the relay, then it's the ignition switch and the car's screwed. Now listen closely. He instructs me as to what a relay is and where to find it. Turns out to be some kind of fuse box under the hood, which is not hard to disconnect. I look it over, looking for a way to get inside and try and fix it that way, but when I ask Philippe about it, he just chuckles. Drop it. What? I blink. Drop it on the ground. Won't that break it? Quite the opposite. Do it. With an arched eyebrow and a dubious look on my face, I let go of the fuse box. It bounces off to the ground with a clatter and bumps against the wheel. Now put it back in. I pick it up and pop it back into place, then get into the car and turn the key. The engine starts right up. Huh. Told you. Alright, I need to get back to work. See ya. Thanks, Philippe. But don't mention it. He hangs up. I shut off the engine, take the keys out of the ignition, close the hood in the garage, and head back inside the house, where Samantha and Rosa are having tea in the living room. So, did you fix it? Rosa looks at me. Yeah. I give the keys back to Samantha. It's working now, though I'd recommend you take it to a mechanic when you have the means for it, Miss Murphy. She takes the keys and looks at them for a moment, then looks at me. I will. Thank you, dear. I go to the kitchen and wash my hands. After I'm done wiping them, I stand by the sink for a while, listening to the two women chat. Yeah, Samantha's in a much better mood now. I wonder if Mo could convince her to go to therapy. We can't let her spiral down again. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I need to use the bathroom. I'll leave you with these little two goobers and then Okay, I'm back. I don't know why chat Livia is over here, like in the middle of the screen. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. There we go. Okay. The reason I cut to these screens, by the way, is it's easier for me to figure out where I need to be whenever, whatchamacallit, whenever I'm doing the master cut, because I'm gonna obviously want to cut this part out so that way it's continuous. So now we can get this out of the way and bring back on screen. Why is this enlarged? Okay. There we go. Okay. I go to the kitchen to wash my hands. After I'm done wiping them, I stand by the sink for a while, listening to the two women chat. Yeah, Samantha is in a much better mood now. I wonder if Mo could convince her to go to therapy. We can't let her spiral down again. Just as I'm about to rejoin my charming companions, someone rings the doorbell. Samantha pauses mid-sentence. I hear her get up a moment later and then head over to the front door. The door clicks open. A rich, pleasant voice of a man follows immediately after. Good afternoon, Samantha.
Oh, good afternoon, Yatkin.
It's the first time I've heard Samantha so flustered. Come in. I enter the living room at the same time as Samantha and our unexpected guest. We both pause to consider one another. He's a tall, pale yellow pterodactyl man with piercing red eyes and the head of flowing blonde hair reaching down to his nape. He's wearing a plain white shirt and brown pants with a wine red tie dangling from his neck and a pair of dark brown shoes. I'd have to say, Samantha's got all the right to be flustered. This guy is quite a looker for a dinosaur. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice Rosa eyeing the tarot with some curiosity.
You know, Rosa? Meet Yatkin.
Samantha introduces him.
Yatkin? Meet Anon and Rosa.
She points us out with her hand. Yatkin approaches Rosa first. He takes her hand and plants a kiss on it, making Rosa blush and smile awkwardly at the same time. He then turns to me and approaches me, extending his hand. Samantha told me about you, he says as we shake hands. Good things, I hope. Nothing but good things, he smiles softly. She said the same things about you, Rosa. He looks at my stepsister, who perks up upon hearing her name mentioned.
Oh, you flatter her.
Samantha shakes her head at him, but she's obviously pleased with the impression me and Rosa made.
Come, sit down and have a cup of tea.
We sit down. Samantha heads off to the kitchen, from where she soon returns with a pair of steaming cups. We spend half an hour or so chatting and enjoying our tea. I quickly learn that Yatkin teaches photography. He proves quite the conversationalist, and has a seemingly endless supply of little anecdotes from his time as a teacher. One of my new students, Olivia, she's quite a painter. He sips his tea. Though she has an affinity for dangerous types of paints. She almost burned down the painting studio at our old school. He shakes his head with a soft laugh, seeing us goggle at him. When? Rosa asks. Dangerous paints, I blurt out. Yatkin looks at her, then at me, and with another soft laugh that makes Samantha turn her head and hide her blush behind her hand, he answers our inquiries. It happened in October, he explains. She was using a flammable type of paint and mixed it with the wrong kind of solvent. The paint caught fire. Damn, she was burning with artistic passion, huh? I grin. Rosa rolls her eyes and nudges me softly. Yatkin chuckles, pointing at me with his cup. You could say that. He sets the cup down and clasps his hands together. We've banned those kinds of paints at school since the incident. He looks at Samantha. You're awfully quiet, Sam. The tiny tarot blinks and mutters something behind her hand.
Oh, I just didn't want to interrupt you, she tells him. You know, I don't have many stories of that sort to tell.
He smiles. Yet. He nods at her. So, he looks at all of us in turn. Sam told me that there's a big cleanup going on here today, but it seems that I'm a bit late to the party.
Oh, no. We still have the yard to clean up, Samantha pipes in. Anon and Rosa helped me a great deal, but you can still pitch in with some work. She gives Yatkin a quick glance. If you'd want to.
He nods at her. Of course I do. I don't have much else going on with my house, so... He pauses, his smile faltering slightly. So empty. Another pause, much longer than before. A shadow passes over his face, but it's gone in an instant. Let's get to work, shall we? He cast a wide, sweeping look at us all. I exchanged looks with Rosa. The Etican starts chatting with Samantha, which gives me an opportunity to whisper relationship problems to her. She frowns and glances over at him, then shakes her head, a disapproving look on her face. We finish our tea and leave for the yard. There's a thin layer of dead leaves covering the yard, while the flower beds are so overgrown with weeds that Rosa can't help but cringe and cry out, "Esto no puede ser, no, no!" After which she immediately demands Samantha to give up the location of her gardening utensils, and after obtaining this vital piece of intelligence, she heads back into the house with Samantha in tow. Yetikin observes this display of gardener's ferocity with some amusement, then proposes to me that we should engage ourselves in raking the leaves. We soon get to it, thanks to Rosa returning with a wheelbarrow full of all sorts of gardening equipment, from those small hand shovels used in gardening to pruning shears and rakes. I start raking the leaves with the Yetikin, while Rosa and Samantha dig into the flower beds and attack the weeds with a ferocity that would put any woolly mammoth hunter to shame. Yetikin watches Rosa despair over the plants with great amusement. "She's quite volatile, isn't she?" he remarks to me. "Who, Rosa?" I look over at her. "Oh, yeah. She can be." I grin. "You should see her with her siblings. She's in her element there." He pauses mid-sweep. "Are you two related?" He points at her with the shaft of his rake. "Her parents adopted me," I explain, focusing on the grass. "It's a long story." He doesn't press me for details. Our conversation dies down after that, and we separate, taking on opposite sides of the yard in our mission to rid it of leaves. I glance over at him from time to time, and more often than not, I see him throwing short looks at the two women, busy with the flowers. He notices me looking one time and responds with a short wave, to which I reply in kind. We're soon done raking and put the leaves into garbage bags, which, under Rosa's directions, end up against the back of the wall of the house. Just as I'm about to ask Rosa if we can help her with the flowers, Yetikin's phone rings. "I'm sorry, excuse me for a second." He walks off a little distance and takes up the call. "Hello?" He stands still for a moment. He's turned away, but the way his shoulders slump as he listens to the person on the other side tells me more than I'm comfortable to admit. He's distraught, very much so. His wings slump along with his arms, and he's tensed up all over. Yes, no, I'm visiting a friend. Of course, Mouse, I'll be there shortly." He pauses. "Love you too. See you soon." He puts the phone away and walks up to us. "I'm sorry, Sam, I need to get going." He gives me the rake. "It's been nice meeting you two. See you tomorrow, Sam." He kisses her hand and Rosa's, shakes mine, takes us in with a long look, then turns and with his hands in his pockets, walks around the house to the front yard. We stand in silence for a moment, then, after he drives away in his car, Rosa turns to Samantha. The little Taro is looking particularly thoughtful right now. She's scratching her temple, her head inclined, eyes glued to the tips of her shoes.
"Do you know his wife, Miss Samantha?"
Rosa asks. Samantha twitches and lifts her head to look at Rosa.
"Oh, goodness, no." She shakes her head. "I only heard about her from him."
She scratches her temple again, then looks up at the sky.
Dear, it's getting dark. Let's go inside."
I look up. Indeed, the day is nearing its end. There are more dark clouds rolling in from the sea than usual. The wind is picking up, making the grass bend and leaves of the only tree in the yard rustle to a deafening degree. We hastily collect the garden utensils, and with me pushing the wheelbarrow, we put them away into the garage, then head inside. We're back in the living room, sitting for some time in comfortable silence. Samantha's lapping tea from her mug, chatting it up with Rosa. I'm texting Reed, asking about the meeting with the Trigger. The discussion about the date is brief, merely me making sure about the date. New Year's Eve. I suppose one could find some symbolism in that. We'll head back to the Gonzalez right after, he writes. After talking with her, I could use some chill out. Sounds good to me. When do you leave for college? February. The tiny Taro clearing her throat grabs the attention of both of us. We turn our head towards the tiny matriarch, who, seeing that she got us to listen, puts her mug down and folds her hands on her skirts.
"I want to thank you too,"
she says, turning her head first to Rosa, then to me,
"for helping me so much today."
She looks around the room, the hint of a smile lingering on her snout only for as long as she's not looking at us. She turns serious the moment she lays her eyes back on Rosa.
Rosa, darling, it's been extremely kind of you to come and help me out. I don't think I'd have done anything here today by myself.
Her face droops a little.
I'd probably still be wallowing in filth.
Rosa opens her mouth to protest, but is stopped by Samantha raising her hand.
Rosa, darling, I know myself better than anyone. I know I would. Now, Anon, dear.
She turns to me. I immediately set my phone down.
You've helped me yet again.
She gives me the warmest, most motherly smile I've seen from her yet. Her eyes flash upon noticing how awkward it makes me.
Don't be bashful. I'm only telling the truth. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're a good young man.
I rub the back of my head with an awkward smile. Thank you, Miss Murphy.
And I'd like to apologize for what I've said that day when I barged into your house.
She nods at Rosa.
I'm sorry for what I've said and did to you.
She nods at me, then lifts her hand again when I open my mouth to speak.
Now, Anon, dear, don't interrupt me. I am sorry.
I hold no grudge against you, Miss Murphy. There's nothing to apologize for. She shakes her head again.
But I hold a grudge against myself. What I said and did was wrong.
I glance at Rosa. She nods. All right. I nod curtly. I accept your apology, Miss Murphy. Rosa?
Yes, me too.
Samantha nods, sighs, and smiles.
Thank you both.
She rubs her eyes.
I guess you'll be going now?
I check my phone. Damn, it's almost 8 in the evening. We stayed for a bit longer than we should have. Yes, I pocket my phone. We need to get going. We promised that we won't stay out late. Samantha rises along with us. She gives Rosa a hug and me a handshake. If you need something, anything, or if you'll feel down, call me, Miss Murphy. A reminder, I'm always on the phone. She nods.
I will. Thank you again, Anon.
She leads us to the front door, where she shares one last parting hug with Rosa. We leave, get into the car, and drive off. Rosa's silent. She doesn't even turn on the music, only drumming on the steering wheel in a steady, quick rhythm. I turn my head to the window and stare at the houses whizzing past us, thinking about what I've seen today. Fuck. Samantha really sank low. The house I remembered versus the house I saw today were completely different places. Fitting, I guess, for the experiences we all had since that damn Monday.
You know, Anon.
I look at Rosa. She hesitates for a moment, then opens her mouth, but changes her mind and closes it. She turns on the blinker and takes a right on the intersection, then spends a while drumming on the steering wheel. I'm about to turn back towards the outside view when her speaking up arrests my attention.
Lucy's room.
I freeze.
It's untouched,
Rosa says, kneading the wheel.
Well,
Got hiccups.
Well, excluding the mess police made when they were looking for evidence, I guess.
Oh, shit. Give me just a sec. She pauses for a long moment, then looks at me. She's got my full attention. I'm staring at her with a beating heart and my fist clenched on my knee. Was it locked? What a dumbass question. Of course it wasn't locked. Samantha herself told her to open the windows in there. She shakes her head. I slowly turn away and press my forehead against the cold glass. I watch as the first droplets of rain start streaming down, while the dark clouds roll quickly above, hurried across the sky by the rising wind. Lucy's room, untouched since the shooting. I could see why. It's strange that Samantha Ripley didn't lock it. I guess Ripley's goons were coming back so often that it was more convenient to keep it open. And after the man of the house was locked up, Samantha didn't care about shutting that one room. What about... I shut my eyes. Bloodied face of a 17-year-old pterodactyl flashes at me from the void. I shudder. It's gone. What about his room?
It's clean, pristine,
Rosa tells me.
The door was opened. I peeked inside. No traces of dust. All his clothes are folded and laying on his bed. His books are arranged on his desk.
I shudder again. Nazar's face flashes before my closed eyes. The vision is too short to see if he's in vindictive mood today.
It's eerie, Anon. The whole house was in such a sorry state, and yet his room.
As if she's expecting him to come back at any moment. Rosa murmurs something in Spanish. She's quiet for a long time. I'm quiet too. I'm contemplating Nazar's face, staring at me from the void behind my eyes. Staring right back at him. He's not laughing, grinning, mocking me, nothing of the sort. He's just looking at me. It's not a pleading look, one of scorn. It's as neutral as it could be. Wonder what you'd have to say about how dirty your house was. Fuck. You didn't deserve what happened to you, man. The face disappears. I open my eyes. I'll ask Mo to get her into therapy. Convince her somehow. I look at Rosa over my shoulder. We helped her, but if she doesn't get professional help, our efforts won't mean shit. She nods, not looking at me.
Do that, Anon. I'll pray for her tonight.
She sighs and rubs her eye with her palm.
I'll ask Mama y Abuela to pray for her too.
I smile. The divine intervention wouldn't hurt. Every bit of help she can get. They turn back to the window.
See you next week, Anon.
See you, Doc. I leave Dr. Violet's office and, escorted by an orderly, make my way down the corridor. While passing by the common room, I catch a glimpse of Wendy inside, reading the manga I got her with great relish. She's much more animated than when we last met, but at the same time, she's calm. She looks normal. A normal girl enjoying a read. I smile. Good to see things going so well for her. They've been going a bit less well for me lately, with the whole Stella situation and its aftermath. Still, Christmas was super fun, and our celebrations lasted until Sunday. I even had an occasion to say goodbye to some of the stragglers before I went to therapy. Good morning, Anon. A familiar voice pulls me out of the reverie concerning my aunt and brings a wide smile into my face. Doc Jones! I shake hands with him heartily. How are you, sir? The Triceratops doesn't answer. He just left Dr. Candace's office, and it seems that he was discussing something that affected him deeply. He follows me out of the ward and waits for me to collect my phone from the nurse's station before speaking up. I'm doing quite well, thank you. He walks alongside me in silence for some time, his hands in his pockets. He's slowly clicking his pen, his head slightly inclined, contemplative look on his face. That was Christmas for you, Doc? I ask. Oh, it was swell. He smiles, not looking at me. Me and Trisha had an amazing time together. He pauses and lifts his head. She told me about your input in the matter. He finally turns his head to me. I want to thank you, Anon. I stop. He puts his hand in front of his face and sighs, his composure slipping for a brief moment, to which he gives vent by allowing his voice to tremble. He stands under a wall, shielding his eyes, sighs again, lowers his hand and turns to me. There's such brightness in his eyes, such comfort and peace on his face, which I hadn't seen before. It surprises me. Not enough to make me step back, or jump like a jack-in-the-box, but it makes my heart jump, and awakens a warm tingle on my chest, making me a bit giddy. He extends his hand. You did... He pauses, turns his head away, composes himself, and continues, looking back to me. You did so much for her. She was unhappy, Anon. I don't think she was happy a single day since me and her mother separated. I take his hand in mine. This handshake differs from all the previous ones we shared. He's holding my hand more tightly, shaking it with more firmness and force than before. I can feel it tremble as I look into his eyes. He's smiling, even though his jaw is quivering slightly. During Christmas, He pauses, again overcome by emotions. I have not seen her so happy in many years. She laughed so much. He smiles. It's thanks to you. He puts his other hand on my shoulder. I let go of his hand. He pulls it back, but keeps his hand on my shoulder. I didn't do all that much, Doc. I rubbed the back of my head. I just did what was right. And I thank you for it, Anon. He pats my shoulder and lets go of me. We continue down the corridor in silence. Me with my phone in my hand, him with his in his pockets. Click, 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 his pencil plays its little tune. She told me it was you who convinced her to move out of her mother's house. He pauses. You see, Anon, Patricia's not a bad woman. She loves Trisha very much, but she has her own views on life. Patricia is your ex-wife? He nods. I rub my chin. Trish said that she cheated on him. He says that she isn't a bad woman. Trish said that her mom doesn't give a shit about her. Whom should I believe, father or daughter? There must be some resentment between Trish and her mom, why wouldn't there be in such a situation? No matter how good a person your ex-wife is, Doc, house was not a good place to work out such trauma as Trish's. I pause to gather my thoughts. Nor is dumping housekeeping and childcare on your daughter's head. Evan sighs, slowly shaking his head. Yes, I know. Trish was afraid that you wouldn't take her, Anne. I look at him. If it's not too much of a personal question. He lifts his hand. Not at all. You're concerned for a friend. You ought to know. A friend. Fuck. Even after all this time, after all that happened between us, I still have reservations toward that word. Buddy? Yeah, buddy. That'll suffice. You see, Trisha blames herself for our divorce. She overheard me and Patricia arguing a couple times. We said a few words too much in anger. He sighs, removing his glasses and rubbing his eyes. I look away. Well, that makes sense. Wonder what they've said. Can I? No. No, it's their own private matters. Don't stick your nose in other people's business, and you'll sleep better for it. I see. I nod. Well, I'm glad I could help. We arrive at the reception area. He once again shakes hands with me. Do you still have my number? Good. If you ever need anything, call me. At any time of day. I grin. He smiles crookedly. Well, not at midnight, unless it's a matter of life and death. He pats me on the back. Thank you, Anon. God bless you. He leaves. I watch him disappear behind a corner, then take my phone out and call Simone. Dad trusts me enough to allow me to get home by my lonesome now, but I still have to report when my therapy sessions are over. I do that and tell him that I'll be home a bit later than usual. Reed asked me to do something for him, I explain. It won't take long. Alright, he says. Be safe, Anon. I put the phone away and looked down the corridor Doc Jones went. I wonder how he'd thank me if he knew about what me and Reed have planned today. Maybe he'd be even more grateful. Maybe he'd cuss me off and tell me to get out of his sight. It depends on the outcome of our little scheme. I head out of the hospital, zipping my jacket up to the chin. Even though the sky is clear and the sun is shining, there's a damn cold wind blowing from the sea today, which chills me to the bone marrow. I put up my jacket's collar and hurry to the bus stop. After paying the driver, I grabbed the handrail and we're off. The bus is packed today. Mostly dinos, and a human standing behind me. We exchange silent nods. Apes together, strong. I get off near the beach. This is the same bus stop at which me and Reed had that talk about Lucy a couple months back. So much has happened since then that it feels like a different lifetime. It's a miracle I hadn't gone insane back then. I sit on the bench and cross my arms, resting my head against the bus stop's wall, staring at the shop on the other side of the street. A whole plethora of instruments crowding the display window suggests that it may be a music store. My time until Reed's arrival passed by with me staring at guitars hanging in the window of the store, thinking, fantasizing about buying one such guitar for Lucy. It's a stupid fantasy, completely unfounded, but imagining her smiling as she strums on a brand new guitar is a vision I can't help but indulge in. The next bus stops by. Amongst the small crowd of commuters, I see a familiar, tall, broad-shouldered silhouette of my raptor friend. He notices me. His face lights up in a moment. He lifts his hand to greet me and approaches me with a quick step. His jacket flaps in the wind. We could have gone somewhere less open. I get up and follow him to the beach. This wind will be a miracle if you hear her saying a word. I know, he says, but it feels proper, talking out on this beach. How so? I was trying not to trip in the sand. We and Ed have some history together. He looks over the shoulder. Feels proper to have some sort of closure here. We pass by the picnic table. One of the bench's legs is broken, and the bench is sagging. There are some indents in the table. I stop and point it out to Reed. Remember this bench? Please. My foot hurts just from looking at it. He laughs. They still haven't fixed it. I grimace. There's more pressing matters to worry about. Reed scoffs. Like embezzling money. I lift my eyes. He pats me on the back. It's a joke. He grins. Where is it? His grin turns mysterious. We head over to the next table and sit down. Reed takes out his phone and starts tapping away. Since I'm sitting next to him, I can't help but notice that he's texting Rosa. I turn my head away, scolding myself in my thoughts. We sit like this for some minutes, enduring the wind in stubborn silence. I adjust the collar of my jacket a couple times, since the wind is quite against the idea of staying upright and is doing all it can to bring it down. Reed keeps texting Rosa, and I can't stop thinking about Doc Jones and what he'd say about this little meeting. Out of the sudden, Reed pauses and puts the phone down. He turns his head to the right, prompting me to do the same with his hand. There she comes. Trish. The little Trigger, my buddy, the wayward friend of Reed's. She's wearing a jacket too, and a hoodie underneath. Her hood is flapping the wind. She's holding it down with one hand, bending slightly under the assault of the wind, her eyes on the ground. She's very relieved to see me there with Reed. I steal a small smile and nod at her. Reed, clearing his throat and pointing at the bench on the other side of the table, interrupts this little moment of kinship. Sit down. Oh, there you go. Another chapter of None into Chambo. None into Chambo, baby. Well, we got a little bit done there. We helped Samantha clean the house and got everything set up to talk with Trish. And the next chapter, as you can very clearly tell here, is going to be the confrontation. All we can do is cross our fingers and hope that it's going to go well. But like I said, we're only doing one chapter tonight because I'm going to have streams basically all this week, so I don't want to fucking burn myself out too hard. So yeah, I'm going to update the schedule after stream today. I'll go ahead and put down the plans for the streams of this week so that people can keep track of that. And yeah, like I said, tomorrow, let me check real quick. We can check live, guys. Get excited. Hold up. Detroit Become Human is fucking $12, huh? That could be a funny stream. Maybe I picked that up. Silent Hill 2. $60 or $70, which kind of burns my ass a little bit, but it unlocks in less than an hour, so we should be able to play it tomorrow. So, likely what I'm going to do is go ahead and pick this up, get it downloaded, and we'll take a look at it and see how good it is. I have never played Silent Hill 2. I've seen some gameplay. I know the story beats, but I don't know everything in between. So it should be a good time. And yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. But yeah, until then, anybody who's in chat, be lurking otherwise, I hope you had a good time listening to yet another chapter of our favorite E1 Cope fic. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. I will see you tomorrow at around our usual time. Until then, take care.